Yo, what's going on, everyone? It's Chase. So on today's video, we'll cover a couple successful trades from this week that were live called on crypto Twitter. Discuss why we got into them. Some of you messaged me and said it was helpful from last week to see sort of what goes into a successful trade. So we'll do some of those. We'll cover Bitcoin and Ethereum. A little bit choppy right now, so we'll use a little bit of a zoomed out view and mark up some levels that should be good for, a near term buy. We're thinking month of September, or because right now we're pretty choppy in here, right? And we'll get into this, but we don't necessarily, or at least for me at the moment, I'm not particularly concerned with the low time frame because we've been seeing a lot of chop, a lot of back and forth. Even saw some fake news come out today, not to use that in the way that other people use that terminology, but when they talked about the Litecoin news with Walmart and it turned out to be, fake. We'll get into all that. As usual, big shout out to Prime XBT, no KYC exchange. Check out my links at the bottom, give them a shot. All right, let's get into it. So first things first, we'll talk about the successful trades. We'll just rattle them off real quick, okay? Some people say it's helpful. So, and again, these are not to brag or anything. This is just, they were publicly called, okay? So if you were following me publicly, then on Twitter, then you know that these were live called. Okay, so I talked about a liquidity run of nearby high could present a short opportunity right here, okay? So we have this little black box, liquidity run, right into B and then down towards A. Obviously, we haven't moved towards A yet, but still could have got a couple R out of this already. I did. So let's take a look. The black box is now red. Okay, I change the colors all the time, just easier on my eyes. And we could see that we were on the 12 hour. Okay, we're on the 12 hour here. We had a high of 47,330. And over here we have the high, 47,386. I'm on a different exchange right now because I was just looking at older data on monthly and whatnot. But anyway, it runs it perfectly. Whenever you're doing these little sweep trades, you can basically just put your entry like $0.5 above, or you could put it right on the swing. It really doesn't matter. If you're playing a swing position like this, it shouldn't go too much higher, right? You're not going to get a stop run that goes all the way up here most of the time, okay? Most of the time your stop runs are going to be like right next to the level, okay? And then you would have just put your stop right above the block, okay, this order block here. And then you can see, you could have already pulled, I think I took like 50% at like 3 risk reward or something right around here. I took some more around here, around 5. And I have like 25% left open. You guys know how I trade, right? We're not looking to hit a home run. We're not looking to hit, 10R on every single trade. But I will, close 50% here, another 25% here, and then hold another 25% for the potentially full trade, okay? Why did I take this one? Because when you have this downtrend sort of chopping price action, especially after a big dump, you often come up and take the high before dumping more, okay? Just learn through experience. This stuff doesn't come from books and whatnot. A lot of people ask me, where do you learn, what books to read? Honestly, it's just a lot of time looking at the charts and you just get a feel for what's going to happen. And that was it. A lot of low time frame consolidation here, runs the high and goes back down and tests lower, okay? On to the next trade. This one was Zava, and this one was a falling wedge. This was my prediction of how the wedge would play and break out at this time frame, and this is how it went. Okay, a little bit of deviation below. Let's go to the chart. Okay, so I redrew it and everything because the wedge has already broken out. So let's just go over to this one and I'll show you from here. If you go and you look on YouTube, people asked, okay, well, how did you know the time that it would break out? I mean, my timing was pretty damn close. How did you know the time? I knew the timing because there's a video that I have, I don't know where I put it, but there's a video I have called Formation Alpha. So look up like Crypto Chase Formation Alpha. And this is just a lot of times I used to do formations a lot. And I sort of just figured out, how to measure them and typically where they're primed for breakout because of the coiling, right? If they go all the way deep into the formation, they lose their coiling effect and you typically don't get any type of a breakout or a small breakout. Okay, you typically want to look around 70% into the formation. But yeah, go to that Formation Alpha video. You'll learn more there. I got a couple messages about that too. People saying that video was very helpful. So check that out. Again, all free content. If you want to check it out, feel free. So this one was just, you had a big support block here, right? And I predicted that it would stay inside the wedge, although it didn't. It did deviate below, but if you know how I trade formations, you'll see it in the Formation Alpha video that I usually wait until closer to the time frame and say, hey, or the time level, right? And say, does this look good? Okay, it looks good. Okay, I'm in. Stop loss below, something like that. And then it did go basically almost to target, 4.30. It went to, let's see, 4.20. So I was off by 10 cents or whatever. But, again, I was locking in profit along the way, as usual. So that's that one. Okay, let's move to the last one. Okay, so the last one was Flux. I did a video on this one. This one was a partnership with Flux, actually. So I get, like I told you guys, I get partnership opportunities and promotion opportunities and stuff multiple times a day. I rarely take any of them. And now you'll see why, because most of them are dog shit. And the ones that I take, and when I do technical analysis, I actually mean it. If I think it's going to go up, I said bullish on Flux. And if I think it's going to go up, then hopefully it's going to go up, okay? But we can see here on the daily, it was at 38 cents when I made the video, and we can see that it went towards 62 cents in the coming days. Now still above that entry, still at 43 from 38. So when we saw on the daily, when we were seeing consolidation above the level, okay, very simple. Rejected here, rejected here, rejected here. You're seeing consolidation above the level. That's a buy, okay? And once again, just taking profits along the way, and could have caught a 77% move or something of that nature. Pretty big move, okay? Excuse me. Okay, so that covers the successful trades. We talked Bitcoin, this liquidity run. We talked Zava, a formation trade play. These still work pretty well on alts. I would not do these as often on Bitcoin and Ethereum, but on the altcoins, typically formations still work well. And then we talked Flux, and all those trades worked out, all publicly, hopefully helpful. Okay, let's move forward now. We'll talk Bitcoin. So Bitcoin first. I'll be honest with you. I've been having a tough time discerning. I usually consider myself pretty good at picking levels that, just basically get wicked and they're just good for, blind buys or blind sells, etc. But I won't lie, this price action in here is definitely odd to me. And I've been trying to really narrow down what levels I want to have just to put bids in. And so this is what I've come up with so far. We're here on the 12 hour. I think 12 hours is good right now because you get a little bit more data, but you also avoid, the lower time frame chop that isn't really, there's a lot of noise and not a lot of signal there. Okay, so as far as support goes and where I'm looking, over the next month, 2 months, I don't know, I'm not sure what could happen. This could completely reclaim this level, okay, and clear this and go back up towards here, okay? That's completely possible. Or we could eventually just keep chopping, don't know what happens, and eventually I think if there's a level to buy, it's this level right here, anywhere from about 40,000 to about 41,300, okay? So this is my buy area. Now it becomes a little bit difficult because there's also a potential that if we really wanted to clear out like every single long, or if you wanted to really break people's spirits and run all the liquidity you can, that you would also run this area right here, and that would send you closer towards around here-ish. Yeah, that's fairly clean right there. Resistance, sort of deviation, resistance, origin of impulse right there, right around 35K, okay? Or just a stop run below this level at 36K. So this is tough. I mean, you can simply bid. You can bid here, right? You can bid this level with a stop here-ish, a little bit above a little bit above this low, right? Because you don't want to get stopped out on that liquidity. And if this gets stopped out, right? Okay, so we take minus 1R there, pretend. Okay, so we lose 1R there. And then you try to take another long below this swing or below this swing. You probably got to bid a little bit of both just in case, because you don't want to be left behind. And then again, you know, stop down here, and that's another 1R. You know, for big trades like these, you can risk more than 1R. You can do, you know, you could do probably 1.5 and 1.5. So worst case scenario, if everything gets nuked, you would lose 3R on the day. You know, personal preference, right? You could do 4R. It's really, it all depends what you want to do. You know, I've talked about this stuff multiple times in other videos like portfolio management and whatnot. I can't decide what your risk levels should be or how you want to operate in the market. All I can do is really show you the levels. So that's how I'd be looking to play it. I'd probably do like 1.5R here, 1.5R here. Don't think I want to hold this entry all the way down to here, because if I do, then I'd be severely underwater on this position, or I'd have to have a very high target point in order to get any decent risk reward if my stop is this wide. Okay, so that's probably not the move. I'd probably rather just stop out and then take another trade in here, try to get a fill in there if that happens. Okay, but mainly my first level that I'm looking at is this right here, because we could see resistance, resistance again, deviation right here. Okay, comes up resistance, forms support that breaks through all these resistance levels. Okay, and that's what sort of starts this trend upwards, right? But all that essentially originated from in here. Okay, so this is where I'm looking to buy. Once again, untested demand right around 41K. Okay, that's my buy area. So that's the buy. This could also be the buy if we ran this swing, and if we flip this level to support, I could imagine us moving back towards, it really depends, but probably back towards here-ish, probably back towards 50.5. I think this makes some sense. We have resistance here, resistance for all this area, provides support on the way down, comes up a little bit retest, but then breaks through, and this is really what breaks you through the support level right here. Your last previous support in there breaks down, so I'm thinking right around 50.5K. If we can clear the red box and start to climb back up, clear this void area, right? Big void here, so clear this upwards. You probably get some initial resistance around here, around 49, and then you probably get more into like the 50s, 50.5. Okay, so I'd be watching for that on the upside. And once again, you know, you can just basically have stop below the block or wherever the consolidation was. Pretend this comes up, we run the high one more time, we break down, we consolidate in here, we spring up, retest. Okay, so then your stop is basically below this consolidation right here. Okay, that's how I would play it. Combination of below the consolidation plus the order block. Okay. All right, so that's Bitcoin. And let's move forward to Ethereum. Ethereum's almost even more difficult to chart. Let's move to the daily here, see if I can explain this decently. So we can see that, I don't know if I want to talk about resistance or support first. I guess I'll talk about the support level first. This is really tough to work with. We could see, you know, support here, and then it flips to resistance, and we can see these obvious resistance here. Okay, perfect closes, close below, close below, close below, breakout, but it's forced to retest this demand one more time. Okay, so this is the obvious demand level here around 2610. So this is where I would be buying if there was some type of a major sell-off. Okay. I do also think there's a potential to simply just like run a swing low on ETH, because you do have, you know, some data in here, right? So if you had a swing low, ran, and it looked, I'd probably wait for some type of a confirmation, meaning run the swing low, get back above the swing low, and then pretty much just put your stop right below that swing, and you're good, and you should be able to play it back towards, optimally, you flip this level, this is your resistance level right here, you flip this back to support and you get back towards around 37.50. Okay, so that'd be how I'd be watching that. But outside of that swing level and a potential stop run and confirmation of that level, I'm looking towards 26. Okay, as far as this resistance level goes, how did I get it? We can see resistance all the way back here, right? Okay, so we can see resistance, rejected, rejected, all these perfect rejections on the candle closes, okay? All these perfect rejections. Then we see the origin of impulse. We know those matter as well. So origin of impulse, big move upwards. As it comes down, it provides support right here. And then it flips to resistance once again. Resistance, origin of impulse right here. Breaks down, comes back up, now serving as resistance. We've seen multiple clean rejections here on the 12-hour. So flipping this area to support would definitely be a signal for a potential long opportunity. I'd be watching for that. Back towards this level right here. Okay, right around 37.50. Is there, let's see. So let's pretend it goes up, it clears this level. Okay, you're buying this retest and stop is below whatever consolidation is in here. Okay, and let's see if you can get any decent risk reward here. If you were going to buy this retest, let's pretend it doesn't retest perfectly. We'll go a little bit above. Stop here. 1.32 is not risk reward that I typically take. If it's possible that the consolidation is tighter and closer and you can get a 2 or you could get a 2.5, then yes, I'd take it. Okay, but I'm not looking to take a 1 risk reward. So if you know, typically I'm looking between 2 to 4 is optimal for me. Okay. So those are levels for ETH. Swing low, potential long here, resistance level here, void right into here if so. Okay, these swings, this swing low would be held towards here, this buy would most likely be held towards here as well, unless we're going like, straight Goblin Town, then you're looking at like 1400s or something, a lot lower. Not just if you break this, but point being is, I think if we want to remain, if we want to remain bullish, and just think that this is a short-term deviation and we're back below, but we're going to rally back up, we really want to see one of these levels hold, in my opinion. Okay, so we covered the winning trades, we covered Bitcoin, we covered Ethereum. I guess today's chat, it's nothing crazy, but I think we'll just talk about the whole sort of Ethereum versus everybody / Ethereum versus Sol and whatnot. And let me just preface it by saying, Crypto Dog was replying to some of my tweets. He's an old friend since 2017, and he was saying a lot of the most vocal people, are already very successful and whatnot, and early investors, and I completely understand that. So this isn't directed at those people who are the true maxis, and maybe they're so loud, maybe I just don't know it because I don't follow them. But in my opinion, I still see a ton of this going on in terms of ever since, back in the day, this coin versus that coin, right? Bitcoin versus Ethereum, Doge versus SHIB, AMC versus GME, and then it was AMC and GME on the same team, and they were saying that silver was trying to take away the spotlight from them. And the point being is that all of this stuff just leads back to personal greed, and I want my bag to pump, and don't talk about your bag. My bag needs to be in the spotlight. Okay, so don't ever let that out of your view, and that's something that's really important, not only for it, morally or whatever, it really doesn't matter. I could give a shit who's greedy or not, but you have to understand it from a market perspective, is that's why the rotation in this game is often so fast, because everyone will just talk shit, in terms of, oh, this coin is so-and-so, or this coin has the greatest fundamentals, this coin does this coin does that. But their ultimate goal is just to give that coin to somebody else and exchange it for more ETH or more BTC or more USD coin or whatever you want to see. They don't really care too much about the coin, and like I said, excluding those omega rich people who are already made it and they're really like fighting quote unquote for the cause or whatever you want to say, however demented some of them are. But the point is that 99 or 98% of these people that you're seeing chat about coins and one being better than the other, all they're doing is trying to defend price and protect price. They don't give a shit about the coin, okay? They want the ecosystem to strive. They want to make more money. If you gave any of those reply guys $1 million, they would just shut off their Twitter account and never tweet again. Give them 5 million and they'll start trash talking the very coin that they were just shilling the day before. Or you know what I'm saying? But point is they don't give a shit. They're just talking about the coin because they want the number to go up. They're defending the coin because they want the number to go up. They want the number to go up so they can buy a better house or, you know, support their family or whatever it is. It's not about the coin. It's about how much coin they're putting in their pocket in real life. That's what it's really about. So don't get fooled and don't get tricked into these, you know, that's why I hardly ever push people into like discords or anything, because it's in terms of like coin discords and communities and whatnot. Because when you become a community member, that's often when you start to fail and you start to do poorly, because the rotation continues on and the people who are smarter and more experienced than you just continue to flip these coins. Now, you may say, well, what about, you know, a coin that goes from something like Sol that goes from, I don't know what it was, $3 or whatever to $200. If your mentality was to just flip that immediately from $2 to $6, then, you know, where would you be? Well, my response to that is always to keep a moon bag, okay? You don't need a big moon bag in order to become rich if you're a really early investor, okay? So you should almost never sell 100% of any bag. Leave yourself 5%, leave yourself 10%. Because if you bought a monstrous bag of Sol at $3, okay, and you sold 50% of it at $10, okay, it hurts the soul. I know it does, it hurts. But if you sold another 25% later at $50 and you kept a moon bag of, you know, say 10, 15%, you got a 15% moon bag, and, you know, now Sol is $200 and you sell another 10%, well, you know, if your bag was really big from the start, you probably made a whole hell of a lot of money, and now you got 5% left in case it goes to $1,000 or something crazy, whatever. I'm not making any predictions. I'm just, you know, just saying some type of a crazy price, right? The point is always slowly exit any bag that you think has a really long-term potential. If you're a true believer, it doesn't mean you have to become a community member and a Twitter defender and all that shit. Just take your profits along the way and hold a little moon bag for yourself, and that moon bag will always be there, and you can slowly chip away at it if the prices are really getting ridiculous and you're making life-changing money. Okay? So that's really the discussion for this week, I suppose, is just to don't let yourself get caught up in community battles. It's just stupid. Just make your fucking money and keep it moving. And frankly, all the people who need to defend their coin every single day, and I mean, your bag is worth, you know, you got a bag worth $1,000 and you're defending your coin every day, like, honestly, shut the fuck up, because it's just ridiculous. It's just a bunch of blabber. You hardly even know anything about the coin. You just want the number to go up so your $1,000 turns into $50,000. Well, I got bad news for you. All the market caps on any of these huge coins are already so high that they're probably not going to go 50x anyway. You might be able to get, you know, another 5x or something out of these, maybe over the next year or something. Who knows? I don't know. Maybe crypto goes crazy. Maybe you get a 5 or a 10x out of a high cap. But outside of that, if you got $500 in something, it ain't going to change your life unless it's a micro cap or a really low cap. And you move that money around and you make big rotations, you keep a little moon bag, and that's it. Okay, so hopefully, you know, that sticks with some of you guys to just, you know, just keep it simple, okay? Just worry about trading the chart, worry about making your own money, and keep a little moon bag and keep it moving, okay? That's it. Thank you very much, everybody. As always, you know, Prime XBT, check them out. Likes and retweets are always appreciated. Feedback is always appreciated. Any constructive criticism, any comments that you have or questions, I do my best to answer. Definitely getting a lot more DMs than I can handle recently. I try to respond to the best of my ability, but it is what it is. Okay, thanks everybody, and have a great week.